This here in the background is Cauca, what is known as the Cauca territory of Colombia. And in 1991, the Guardia Indígena, the Consejo Regional Indígena, the Regional Indigenous Council, put their weapons down. They had been in military formation as indigenous warriors for 11 years. And they put their weapons down to proceed forward into a phase of negotiation when they saw that the military struggle was not going to bring the results that were required. So today we're here at the 5th Summit of Indigenous Nations and Pueblos of Abya Yala. The 5th Summit now taking place here after 4 days. We're at the concluding events. And what's being presented here is a consequence. It's part of the memory that is going to be left as a tradition for the future generations about how it happened. How did it happen that after 521 years, the indigenous peoples of the continent of Abya Yala were able to put together the relationships that they had had ancestrally as confederations of nations of the eagle of the north, the condor of the south, and the quetzal in the central part. And in that process, in that emergence, in that story, and in that legend, we're coming together once again to share our experiences, our prayers, our tactics, and find ways to correlate these all together at a local, regional, continental, and global levels. And this is what is happening here throughout that whole process. And the purposes of all of these activities are always on two sides. One is the internal side of the maintenance and the preservation, the continuation, better said, of our traditional values and identity, our cultural identity as indigenous peoples, Nicantlacas and Manawa. The other part is our liberation, and those two are complementary and go together. For that reason, here at the 5th Summit, we're looking forward to the future, to the time where the Council of the Indigenous Nations and Pueblos of Abya Yala meaning this entire continent now, in an uprising, uplifting of our self-determination, the Council of the Indigenous Nations and Pueblos of Abya Yala will travel to the north and encounter among the indigenous nations, the northern part of the continent, within the territories of the Confederation of the Eagle, as is known traditionally, that this event will take place sometime in the future in the north, perhaps at the 7th Summit. And so this is what is happening now. We're moving towards the concluding events. All in all, what it turns out to be is the beginning part of a long memory that is also a dream. The dream of our self-determination, our self-realization, our self-definition, that we're putting it together once again in the spiritual dimensions and emerging from there to our relationships to the natural world.